Jacky Lantern, a ghost story, also known as A Bridge Too Far, also known as Worth Dying For. In the town where I grew up, there is a train bridge which crosses the 16-mile creek 100 feet below. It's a wide bridge with 3 lines of track, so you'd think it would be pretty hard to fall off the edge. But I did. No, I wasn't drunk or trying to get away from a passing train. I was only 13 years old when this happened. It was Jacky Lantern. And who the hell is Jacky Lantern? Well, for starters, he's sometimes known as Mean Jack. And I see him in my mind's eye as a 50-ish Lon Chaney Jr. standing at a dive bar, having knocked off 18 shots of Jack Beam. 18 shots of Jim Daniel. 18 shots of whiskey. Jack was a big, mean bear of a man with a gravelly voice, kind of like mine, who liked to paw and harass women and fight and beat up men, especially men weaker and smaller than himself. He even shot a man dead over a Stetson hat. In short, he was a violent bully, a brute. But one night, after knocking back 18 shots of Jim Beam, chased down with 18 bottles of Lucky Lager, that would kill you in itself, Jacky had a massive heart attack and died before his face hit the sawdust on the floor. In the afterlife, Jacky saw what he thought were neon lights, and figuring it was a bar, he lumbered in that direction. Turned out, what he saw were the pearly gates. Jacky was just reaching to pull open the doorway to heaven when he heard a voice say, The speaker was a figure who stood by the gates and looked like every bored government employee Jacky had ever had the misfortune to encounter. But he was dressed in flowing white robes and spouted a prominent pair of wings. St. Peter. "You ain't coming in here, Jacky." "Says who?" "The boss." Jacky was about to argue the point when St. Peter added, "The big boss." "Why?" "You know why. Murder, among other things." "Oh, that." "The boss says you're supposed to go to the other place." "How the hell am I supposed to take the elevator down?" Satan was waiting for him when he stepped out of the elevator. A tall, debonair man, dressed in a black suit like an undertaker, with a black string tie, goatee, and widow's peak. Kind of a beatnik type, Daddy-o. "Come with me and abandon all hope," Satan purred. "Where the hell is hell?" Jacky asked. "Across the desert of sighs," Satan sneered. "You expect me to walk?" "Naturally. Or should I say supernaturally? It will help you adjust to the heat," Satan said, leading the way across the burning sands. It was a long, long walk to hell. In fact, it was more than a half acre. A blast furnace sun beat down from a white-hot sky, and there was no shade except for a solitary apple tree. Possibly the apple tree, if you know your Bible. Amongst its dark leaves were juicy, ruby-red apples, the size of pomegranates. "Hey, Satan, can you give me a break? Why don't you fetch us down a couple of them beautiful apples?" "Why don't you?" "Me? I weigh 280 pounds. The branches won't hold my weight. But you're so slender and in such good shape, it wouldn't be any trouble for you to shinny up there. Now, if evil has a weakness, it's flattery. So Satan stuck his long claws, his long fingernails, into the sides of the tree trunk, and up he went, quicker than you can say, go to the devil. Go to the devil! That fast. And the instant he was among the branches, Jacky took his bowie knife from its sheath and carved a cross into the tree trunk. The devil couldn't pass across, so he was trapped up a tree with no way down. Without a paddle, so to speak. He wasn't very happy about it, and called Jacky every dirty name he could think of, and greatly impressed him by coming up with a few Jacky didn't even know, which made the old bully laugh like a braying jackass. Then Satan tried pelting Jacky with apples, but that backfired when he began eating them and drinking their juice. Satan's face was red. Hell, it was incandescent with fury, but he forced himself to calm down and said, "All right, Jacky, what do you want?" "Took you long enough to ask," Jacky grumbled. "What the hell do you want?" "Parole, probation. I don't want to go to hell. I think I really deserve the other place." "All right, get rid of that accursed cross, and I'll let you go." "How do I know you'll keep your word?" The devil snorted. "As if I'd want someone as cunning and treacherous as you in my infernal dominion. Why, I wouldn't be able to sleep nights." So Jacky defaced the cross, releasing Satan, and then made his way back to the elevator and the pearly gates, and was once more turned away. St. Peter told him, "The boss, the big boss, said, as if I'd want someone as cunning and treacherous as Mean Jack in our heavenly precincts. Why, I wouldn't be able to sleep nights." And so Jacky took the elevator back down and trudged across the desert, wishing the whole time he had a beer. A barrel of beer. He was awfully thirsty. When he knocked at the door to the underworld, Beelzebub answered. "I thought the boss told you to go to hell. Go to the other place." "They won't let me in." "And how is that our problem?" Jack changed tactics. "Can't you let me stay the night?" "Uh-huh. And then you'll be here from here to eternity. So, would you kindly bugger off?" "But it's getting dark," Jacky whined. "How will I ever find my way back?" Beelzebub bellowed with laughter and said, "Here's something to help you light your way," tossing him a red, hot coal. Now, when someone tosses you something, you instinctively grab it, as Jack did, with both hands. Jacky bellowed as the coal burned into his not overly tender flesh, bellowing even more when he found the hot coal had stuck to his hands and he couldn't get rid of it. Jack's stream of profanity was heard in heaven and hell, and maybe even in Canada. And he was stuck with the glowing hot coal from here to eternity. He found he couldn't shake it off, no matter what he tried to do. Jack also had no place to go. Heaven shut off the lights from the pearly gates, so he couldn't find them, while Beelzebub and various minor demons threatened him with more hot coals, as well as fire and brimstone. So in the end, Jacky was forced to wander the world without rest, moving from place to place and from dusk until dawn. He was always in pain and couldn't even catch a beer, as he was condemned to hold the hot coal in both hands and couldn't pick anything up. Jacky was mean before, but now he was mean. So he devoted himself to the only real pleasure he had left, hurting others. Jacky Lantern would use his light, his burning coal, to mesmerize and mislead unwary travelers who, on dark nights, would head towards the light and what they thought might be safety, only to be led into deadly swamps, off the edges of cliffs, off the ends of piers and docks, and off the sides of train bridges. One dark night, some friends and I wanted to go to the Swiss chalet on the other side of town, on the other side of the 16-mile creek. We had some coupons or something. My friends had a head start, and I was hurrying to catch up with them. The fastest way to get across town was to go across the train bridge. It was something we did all the time, and was reasonably safe if you checked the signal lights to see if there were any approaching trains. Tonight, all the lights were red. My friends were already on the other side as I stepped onto the bridge. But as soon as I did, I saw a light, a bright reddish light, moving across the tracks. At first I assumed it was a cop, as they often tried to keep people off the tracks, and especially off the train bridge. Now, normally in such a situation, I would head in the other direction, but I wanted to catch up with my friends. And besides, it didn't appear to be a normal light, the normal light of a flashlight. It was orangey red for starters, more like the glow from a fireplace, and it had a hypnotic quality, which made you want to go to it. I decided to check it out. As I moved towards it, it seemed to float towards me, moving across the eastbound tracks to the very edge of the bridge. As I walked up to it, I could see it was just a light, floating about 5 feet in the air. But as I reached it, a big ugly man suddenly appeared behind it and rushed me, making me take an involuntary step backwards, and into space. I screamed, and then I hit. When I came to, I just lay there stunned, until I figured out I was still alive. Slowly I began moving my arms and legs, my head and neck, and nothing appeared to be broken. I tried to move, and then I heard voices, and my friends were there. I had landed atop a clump of thick underbrush, the leaves and branches scratching me, but breaking my fall. I'd had the wind knocked out of me, and had ripped my shirt, but I seemed okay. It wasn't until years later, as a student of folklore, that I'd realized I'd been the victim of the mean and spiteful Jacky Lantern. But when I tried to tell my buddies about the evil cuss who'd pushed me off, they called me a fool. Actually, they called me a lot worse than that, and laughed at me. I went to the hospital to get checked out, right? Nah, I went with them to Swiss Chalet. Hell, we had coupons. Quarter chicken with fries and dipping sauce. Worth dying for. Hey, I almost did. And Jacky Lantern, I know you're out there. So in future, do me a favor, and let's just not meet. If this story has given you an appetite for more, please comment, share, drop a like, and consider subscribing for more Night Floaters and Ghost Stories of a Librarian. And until next time, stay hungry.